From one only child, who's now a parent to an only child, can I just say that it is time to let go of the idea that only children are missing out, weird, or that as the parent, I'm failing my kid. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Kira Wackett. Thanks for joining me for another video as we work to empower and equip you with the confidence and skills to write your own story so that you can live your lives on purpose. Today we're talking about the right every person has to decide if they want kids, how many, and the reality that no one gets to live your life but you, so why we need to stop projecting wants onto others and absorbing pressure that we should love and live differently than what aligns best for us. Since people found out I was pregnant with Everly, they've asked whether or not I want more kids. Usually it's less of an ask and more of an assumption that I would want to have more children. From comments like, it'll be different with your next child, or gosh, she's gonna be such a great big sister, to questions such as, when are you gonna start trying again? And how many more kids do you want? The messaging is clear. You should want and have more than one kid. This is why deciding not to have more kids felt like the hardest decision. Not to make, but to assert. I felt like I was somehow letting the world down. I was doing something wrong by not having more children. Am I a bad parent? Am I selfish? Is something wrong with me? For the first 18 months of Everly's life, I talked about the choice ad nauseum with my husband. Should we have more kids? Maybe we could do it. I mean, it'd be fun for Everly to have someone to play with, right? This fixation on achieving some externally rooted image of completeness eroded my ability to listen to myself, especially as more people around us started having more kids. I got so caught up in the projections of others, I ignored my own wants and feelings. Whenever I explored the possibility of not having more kids in conversation with others, I would hear back, oh, just wait till she's a little older and you'll think differently. Or, you don't want her to be an only child, do you? Not only was I dealing with my own shame and fear that I was being judged as a parent, but I was also absorbing people's assumptions and biases about only children. Eventually, and not surprisingly, I had the most enlightening conversation with a good friend who doesn't want and isn't planning to have kids. As such, she too has felt like her choices and wants have been scrutinized her whole life. I had been carrying the weight around for months, knowing what I wanted to do, but feeling like I couldn't actually say it. It was safe to explore this idea, but not to own the choice. But like a beach ball being pushed under the water, it can only hold for so long. I exploded. I talked through every point and counterpoint about whether or not to have more kids, made a few, or not so few, angry remarks to the people who passed judgment on Everly, and assumed they knew what kind of person she would be based on knowing one fact about her life, and tried to defend against the biggest fear that my brain had held on to. I was selfish for not wanting to give more of my time, body, and life to raising kids. After I said it out loud, I was hot, a little nauseous and buzzing, and I was wet from the tears pouring down my face. But for the first time, I felt rooted. I'd been absorbing everyone else's wants, ideas, opinions, and projections for so long, I had felt silenced. And unfortunately, silence is the optimal growing condition for shame. I had placed the entirety of my worth and value on the outcome of this decision and lost sight of its true place in my life and value overall as a human. A decision that was mine and my husband's to make and had no bearing on anyone else's life but ours. A decision that didn't define what kind of mother I was and wouldn't dictate who Everly would be. One of the things my friend was able to offer after hearing her experiences of dealing with people pushing her to think about having kids was that the happiness of her life has never been achieved by making choices that satisfied someone else's goals. Whether it was wearing a certain clothing item, choosing a certain career, or deciding whether or not to have kids. Their opinions were simply ideas and suggestions from people with no responsibility or power to lead her life. And as such, the decision for her was about letting herself down by living for others, or being okay letting others down for things that were never theirs to hold. It wasn't that exact day that I finally let go of the pressure to satisfy everyone else's idea of what a full life looks like, or let go of the assumptions and projections others may have put on me for my life. If I'm being honest, it's still a work in progress, but I've come to accept a few simple truths. I am not a better or worse parent because of the number of kids I have. Love, intentionality, and depth of connection is not quantifiable or comparable. I'm allowed to build a fulfilling life and make choices that align with what vision I want and the life I need to have. The way I choose to invest my time and energy in the world is for me to decide. I can choose things that others don't understand or want. No one else has to live my life, so I have to make sure that I'm the one driving my life where I want and need it to go. Everly isn't destined to be selfish or unkind because she's an only child. Character is built and informed by so much more than the number of siblings we have. Plus, as an adult only child, can I just say that it's hurtful and harmful to keep putting these assumptions out there? At the end of the day, parenting is incredibly hard, no matter how many kids you have. And we could all use more love and support as we show up every day trying to be the best caregivers we can be and raise the best humans we can without worrying about whether or not we're doing it right or good enough. So as we wrap for today, let's do something different in the comments. Let's all celebrate our right to choose and be who we are by putting in the comments something that's right for us, our choice. And any ideas, suggestions, notions that others may have, we're gonna leave those behind. Be sure to check out the show notes for other resources to support you in your journey to shame resilience, both as a caregiver and as a human. If you haven't joined the AR Insider yet, be sure to click a link in the show notes and get yourself on the list to get exclusive content and discounts that I don't share anywhere else, and stay in the know on all of the new content and projects that I'm working on. And if you like what you're hearing, give me that thumbs up and share this video with someone else who could benefit from hearing from it. And if you want to stay in the know on all of the work I'm doing on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Remember, you have the right to author your own story. Whether there's one kid, no kids, or lots of kids, your story is yours. And how much lighter would the world feel if we could all get to the place of letting everyone show up as they are without projecting or judging their stories, but honoring them as they are. So let's walk forward together and let's each go grab that pen back and live the lives that we are meant to live so that we can thrive.